Radio. We live in the downtown revamped Pagedale, Missouri. straight on the suburbs, the western side of St. Louis. Man, we're here for a special day. I got my main guy over here next to me, Show Killer.
In the building.
He started to shed his skin, being one of our main co-hosts. Getting a little playing time now. Saturday afternoon, how's everybody doing this evening? But we are here for a special reason. We're here with my friend, my buddy, longtime associate, Miss. Can I call you a doctor?
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
She's a doctorate. Twyla Lee, 10 years celebrating our Bridge the Gap program. Those don't know it. Can you tell us a little bit like why? I love the name of it. It's almost kind of self-explanatory to why we call it Bridge the Gap. But tell us like what your mission is. What like if there was a mission statement behind Bridge the Gap, what would it be?
Well, we do have a mission statement. Our mission statement is to bridge gaps for households that's been affected by mass incarceration or have a deceased parent. Those are two tragedies that hit my household as a single parent raising my son. And I had gaps. I needed help. And I just vowed when I got into a position to where I can be helped, I would. And that is Bridge the Gap 314.
And it's been 10 years, right? What made you think that this was needed in our community?
Because I'm from this community and I needed it. And I'm a single mother. I have a cohort of friends that are single mothers. And I just know what we need when we have our girlfriend talk conversations. Girl, this, that, and other. And it was just the little things for me. I was able to cover the bills and the utilities. It was just like when I started putting him in organized sports. By his father being incarcerated, I felt like having him in organized sports would help me raise and keep him on the straight path. And we were in Atlanta, so it started at $550 just for him to join. I'm like, ooh, that was a stretch. And then, of course, he wanted the hottest cleats and all of those things. And it was gaps and it was hard. Of course, he had grandparents that supported, but it still was hard as a single mother. So that was that. And that's what we seek to do.
So what? Go ahead, Shoki.
I know it's hard. I know, especially these days, it's hard for a full family to make it. You know what I'm saying? So as a mother, I know you had ups and downs, and you had sad days, sad nights. But for where you at now, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You raised a good one. You had a hell of a team. I did have a hell of a team. You know, when they say it's the village, when we were growing up, I know it was like when the street lights, anytime you did anything wrong, the whole neighborhood got to us. And our communities are different, but I had the neighborhood with these two guys, with the Herbert Hoover, the JFL family, and it would just really help me raise my son and for my son to flourish. And now he is the coach at Herbert Hoover. So full circle moments, you know. 10 years of doing Bridge the Gap of empowerment, and now my son is taking the rims of doing the same thing. He's an educator like me. He don't want to claim it, but he is. And so he's following my example and his friends and all of that. And I'm just proud that we are building community and teaching our next generation how to build community.
After 10 years, I'm pretty sure it's been some battle. You even just said it like it's like, man, I need to let this go. I don't got time for this. When is it like, and then when you're dealing with nonprofit things, just like politics, sometimes people lose their vision. They start thinking about the money. And I know it's easy to fall off into that, especially with all the different pandemics and all type of stuff that we've been involved in and not involved in, but witnessed since we've been here. How hard has it been to dodge those pitfalls and keep pushing and keep your mission alive?
Quite frankly, because I'm honest up front. I just tell people what I am going to do and what I'm not going to do, what I am going to be involved in, what I'm not going to be involved in, what my philosophy is in it, where our disalignment may happen. there was an opportunity for me to be able to receive $750,000 to do what I want to do, in which, like, I can't even believe it's sitting right here. It was a no for me, and it was a
You
no
didn't
for
call
me.
me about that. You called me about everything else. What?
It was a no for
You
me.
know what type of gap we could have breathed?
See, that's how you get it wrong. What type of debt we could have bridged? Because this is nonprofit money. You cannot pay off your debt. So, however, because I am about to have integrity and have something to lose, me accepting that 750,000 didn't work for me because I didn't know if there was going to be some later strings or people that I have to stand next to that I don't agree with. And because I've done this from the ground up on my own with the community, I feel like I can continue to do this from the ground up with the community. Think of the Dalewood Juneteenth Festival. If you think about we're entering to year 5. If you look back at the attendance from year 1, it wasn't like year 4. So I'm continually doing the work, making the connections, supporting and highlighting, and that's what's going to bring the income to fulfill the mission of Bridge the Gap. It won't have to be somebody that I have to answer to.
Do you feel like you have to compete with other nonprofit organizations? Like, for some reason, and I'm not going to damper what the beautiful things that we are putting together, but it seems like to me sometimes it becomes like there's no monolithic way for us to get anywhere that we've never been before. So sometimes people get upset when they think that their voice isn't the voice being heard. How do you get around that and know, like, man, listen, I'm not into that. I just want to make sure my mission is going the way it wants to go. Like, it doesn't have to be more powerful than yours.
Because I built my coalition from the ground up. So everyone that supported me from the ground up, from us meeting organically. Like, if you look around, we have the emerging leaders here. I met them organically, and we just network, and I support them. They support me. And that is what we do. It's just everything is organically about just bringing it together. Bridge the Gap is about bringing organization and business together to support the needs, to make sure we have 4 Black-owned businesses in this place. It was intentional for me to select this place because if I'm going to infuse cash, I want to infuse it into the community, to other organizations that look like me, that have the same experiences as me, and they probably want to support me and help grow what I'm doing. So that is how I do. I don't get into all of those other things because most of the support that I have received come from people that I've never met until just the mission, the work, the message brings them in, and that's where we're at.
Can you give us some names of some very important people that's been along for this Bridge the Gap movement?
Oh, my mother,
of course,
of course, my son, I have to say, my father. But when we get down to the organizations that really, we're going to say the city of Dalewood, Mayor Reggie Jones, the Boys and Girls Club. We're going to talk about Councilwoman Shalonda Webb and Rita Days. We're also going to think about TRIO, the education program. We'll talk about it's a healthcare. I'm so sorry for getting the name of one of my major supporters, and also the small business, the food trucks, Mother's Fish, Mothers on Wheels have always supported us. Reese Rainey and her jewelry has always been a supporter. We had the BJC. Children's Hospital has always been a supporter, bringing out their mobile van and those things. And then everyone that has purchased a copy of the Letters of Empowerment book, and everyone that even contribute to it. There are so many people that silently help me that just sent. Sometimes you just go to the mail and they like, hey, I saw what you're doing. I want to support. And that's what it is. So I really love the small dollar support and the small organization support. I love watching my fellow people blow up and just become what they need to be.
Have you thought about, like, because to me, from what I've known about it, this is your own grassroots idea, strictly built from your brain, going through the experiences like what you were saying, dealing with Makai and not having to bridge a gap. Like, have you thought about showing people how to do this? Like, 'cause some people get into it and they don't have any business acumen or even no nonprofit acumen. They just want to help somebody, but they don't know who to talk to and how to get their things done. They don't know how to put it on paper. They just know how to talk about it. Have you ever thought about doing any kind of workshops like that?
I'm always a phone call away. I have so many people have reached out to me, and I'm always, just like I said, a phone call away to help or whatever. I could do a workshop, but I'm just really more of a one-on-one type of person. If you call me, because like what I do is my ministry. It comes straight from my heart. Even in my job that pays the bill is my ministry and education, and this is my ministry. So when someone wants some help, I don't think a workshop is for this. It's me working with them one-on-one, understanding them, and understanding how we can promote and bring it out. I'm a history teacher. Juneteenth is history. So those are things that ordinarily come in there. History, we tell stories, letters of empowerment. So you see those things as easily of who I am and what I do. So that's what I always encourage people to, if you're starting something, make sure it's what you are and what you do, because then it's not work. Everything is easy because it's who you are and what you do.
So we ain't never gonna say that.
So Twyla, I'm sure you done helped out a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of people want to help you to make it bigger. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. When I tell you at the end of the Juneteenth last year, when the fireworks was going out, before I have any event, it's as if I can't eat. I really can't drink nothing. So I was beyond dehydrated and all this stuff, and I couldn't. And I said, "Oh no!" They were like, "We're going to take you home." I'm like, "I'm not missing that fireworks show. Y'all crazy." And the fireworks came on, and it was just so, I don't know the words. It's just like, oh my God, this is real. The city, people were walking to their cars. It was like being on the riverfront as a little kid, but it's at an event in our neighborhood, put on by us, celebrating us. And it was just like, we did this.
Peaceful.
Yes, it was peaceful. No incident. None of that. And I don't even like to even bring that up, because St. Louis is bigger than incidents.
Right.
It's bigger than any of those things. But when I tell you, coming to the Dalewood Juneteenth, it's like a big old family reunion. And the vendors, people sell out. The organizations, they get bounces and donations, and everyone is good. And it's like that cooperative economics, like when they talk about for Kwanzaa. So I'm back to that, everything cultural relevant for us, Kwanzaa, Kuji Chakalia, and all of those things. This is what Bridge the Gap is, and that's what our events seek to bring.
Can't do nothing but get bigger.
That's right.
That's definitely better.
Do you get a chance to pat yourself on the back? Like a friend of mine tells me sometimes, he's like, "Bro, you're always complaining about trying to get here. Do you know you be getting there and you never sit time to acknowledge that you got there, because you're always trying to knock down another goal?" Like, do you find yourself doing the same thing?
Always, because the hustle in me, bigger and better, want more, want to make sure it's right, and all of that. So it's sleepless nights, writing notes and texts to myself, calling people like, "What do you think about this?" But what I can say, just watching What Up Though Radio, the transition, you all do it. You know what I'm saying? And you have done it, and you're continuing to meet milestones. I've always told you, like, Chris, you're supposed to be big, your vocabulary, you're supposed to be a professor, you're supposed to be sharing knowledge. So you found a way.
Tell me more about my eyes.
To find you. You found an avenue to share your information and your vocabulary, because, and I'm like reaching back on that, because as an educator and now as an assistant principal, when I see the kids and I'm looking at them from a different thing, the vocabulary is suffering, the handwriting is suffering, and that's why we're launching the initiative, the writing campaign. I want to challenge parents to write a postcard or a letter to their students so they can see how their students write, the word choices that they use, and hopefully increase that, because we got to do it. We save ourselves. We save our children.
How accurate is I want to say at the beginning of the school year, there was a meme floating around saying like only like 86%, 87 to 86% of the students in the St. Louis public schools were illiterate, or they weren't reading up to their grade level.
Well, I don't work for St. Louis Public, so I can't speak for their stats. However, I can speak as being an educator for 23 years that there is a steady rapid decline. And even more so where, just think about, at this day and age, you don't really pick up the phone and call somebody if you have to complain. They want you to fill out a form or fill out a chat for them to reach out to you. And if your child cannot write a sentence and cannot express themselves, how are they going to advocate for themselves? So that's where I'm at. It's all about advocacy and being able to do what you need to do for yourself and be what you need for yourself. In this writing, because if you can't write, more than likely you can't read. You can't read, you can't write. It goes hand in hand. So this writing initiative that we're kicking off today and moving on for the next 10 years, hopefully if we can get some traction behind it and turn it around, because it's real. That is real.
What is an aggressive method we can use where parents won't feel like they're offended by, like, it's hard for parents to show accountability for where their kids are right now, because we live in a time right now where it's sad to say a lot of parents, like moms, it's a lot of single moms, they raising sons, but they kind of raise them to the type of guys that they like, you know what I'm saying? And we don't what our community is built off of, not what our built community, what we feed off of. How do you address moms to let them know, like, hey, everything not hip and for the flesh? Like, we have a growing child, even a daughter right here, and they just mimicking everything that you see and do.
So one of these things is about this writing initiative. Is that hopefully they writing and sharing some really experiences with their children, and their children are sharing authentic experiences with them. That's one way that we can curb this. But also, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because people working 2 and 3 jobs, working overnight because it's over money, and they really don't have the time. So that's another reason why I'm like, whenever they can find their time, you might be sitting in your time in the bathroom, your quiet time in the bathroom, you can scribble a postcard to your kid. I know when my son was growing up and he had to learn his ABCs, his 1, 2, 3s, in Spanish, because we were in Atlanta. His father was in a federal prison, and his father felt as if he could not be a father because he was in federal prison. And that was one of the biggest things that I didn't want for my son, because I had my father. So I had to think of ways to empower my son's father to be a father to his son. And one of those ways was my son would write 1 on a sheet of paper, and we would mail it to his daddy. His daddy a ... 2, make a 2 with ... and my son would trace it for a 2. And then I would make my son do a 3, and his daddy would do a ... 4. We did that for the ABCs. We did that for Spanish. But for Spanish, over the phone, they really did the verbal things. And that was the parenting thing that was, because we were co-parents, regardless of where his daddy was. We were co-parents. Even when he couldn't use the phone, didn't have any minutes, we wrote letters because we were co-parents. And that's what I try to tell any young woman that's having a baby by a young guy, and they may be together, may not be together. He might go to prison. He might be out of prison. He might be dead. That is your child's father. And you want to empower your child's father, regardless of how you feel about your child's father. You want your child's father to be empowered for your child. And that's always been my message, to empower my child.
I mean, well, you built different. So, like, that's why I asked you about a workshop, because some people probably need to follow your lead. Some people don't like the message that comes from certain people, but you got to get down to the message sometimes and really understand you need this work, and everybody not willing to take that work. So I applaud you for your effort, and it's always been honest about Lil Dude, and it's crossed over that made you want to love other children as well.
Yes.
You got to have, it's more than just you. Like you said, you got to have that support.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cousins, auntie, uncles, everybody's got to pitch in. Everybody's got to help. It can't just be on you. Therefore, it could be a little lenient. You know what I'm saying? Some days you can relax. He could go over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
When I tell you I come from a large family, but most of the support for me and my son does not come from my large family. It come from you, people that's here. I probably only have one cousin that's here. And it was my mother had 12 siblings. And I got one cousin here.
Message.
We did help. We did help. Did help.
Yeah, I did.
See, we have a fan, right? Who's sitting here with us? Security. All right. All right. Sit down here. You know. She in the feed. Sit down a little bit.
You gonna call security on this? So you gonna call security?
You can interview her.
Now, security ain't working, so we just letting anybody up here right now.
I don't know if I like that or not.
I'm just joking with you.
I know you.
Gotta get our receipt. Security.
Please let us know who you are. You seem to be a very important person.
Well, I just want to kind of get hear a little bit of what Twyla was talking about, because I do think encouraging young people is an awfully big thing. I'm happy to have met her just this year.
Mhm.
I performed for her in the Living Histories portion of the Juneteenth over at the center on the in the Delwood Center.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Who are we speaking with, though?
So my name is Peggy.
Nice to
Peggy
meet you.
Neely Harris. Thank you so much. I have a very small production company, IH Productions. My husband and I, we operate. We are owned by, we are not owned, but we are registered with the state of Missouri. And what we do is we create the arts.
Mhm.
We make history come alive. We make history pop. And just like she was talking about, having kids writing cursive and spend some time and doing the older style of learning, that kind of traditional learning. Well, what I've done is I take it a step further. I go and I learn about all the historical things that we need to impress upon our kids about, and I bring it to life. I recreate history. I recreate important women who have made tremendous contributions to society. I bring to life in full costume narratives of Harriet Scott, Dred Scott's wife here in
Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, of the slaves that sued for their freedom for over 10 years in St. Louis prison. I do Sojourner Truth. I bring to life Harriet Tubman. Of course, everybody loves Harriet Tubman.
I can
because she's
the
one
way
of
you
our-
articulate words, I can give very artistic. You have a very nice way. You bring people in
Oh,
the way you
thank-
pronounce certain
thank you.
words.
Yeah. Okay.
Are
Well,
you are you part of the Bridge the Gap, or
I'm not a part of the Bridge to Gap, but she and I talked about it because I went to be a part of her program at the Juneteenth performance.
Mhm.
And we talked about getting connections and trying to get more into Bridge the Gap, because I think history is so important. Let me tell you, it serves as a window to who we are.
Mhm.
The decisions that were made about us, for us, during the but before the Civil War, it has a big impact on the way we live today, generations and generations now. A lot of people don't understand that it was the atrocities that happened to us that has shaped so many of our parents,
Mhm.
our grandparents for generations to come.
Mhm.
And so what I have done is I decided not to just try to hammer in book after book after book on children. I just bring them to life.
Mhm.
And if I can't play the part, I have a list of people on my little it's called clearinghouse list, and I bring them in to help me. And sometimes I do it with ensembles.
Okay.
And I have a really important one coming up right now. Before the end of the year, I am going to take the Freedom Suits Monument downtown that was unveiled 2 years ago in front of the Civil Courts building.
Mhm.
That has the names of over 300 slaves who tried to sue, who tried to use the court system to sue fairly for their freedom. And only about 125 actually got free from using the court system. So how beautiful is that?
That's very wonderful.
A lot of our children don't understand that. We don't know that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
For those who support the critical race theory or wanting to remove that from the textbooks, Can you tell? I mean, because I have some black people tell me like we shouldn't do that because they always think that we get second place when you tell them about slavery. And all right, so how are they supposed to explain these gaps that we supposed to say we just fucked up? You know, like, we just messed up. We just messed up because you know what I'm saying. Let me stop.
So,
witch's brew over there.
so what you're saying is, how do I feel about people who want to erase?
Yes.
I think it's terrible.
Mhm.
I think it's terrible. Why would you? We are a part of history.
Mhm.
And for all of the people who are running for offices, all of the organizations who say that it's nothing but a racist agenda, I say hogwash. Because if it hadn't been for those people doing what they did, we wouldn't be as tough or as encouraging as we are to fight against those things.
Mhm.
So we need to keep it up.
Mhm.
We need all the people who know about history to just shoot it out there every single day in any kind of way. Because if we could go through it, they can certainly learn about it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I always say y'all made it important. It didn't have to be important.
It didn't have to be important. No.
I need to learn words like hogwash too. Like so I need to learn that type of word.
It's a bunch of hogwash.
Yeah.
But I think history is the missing. It's one of the missing keys. Like she was talking about cursive writing, but we can take that a step further. We can write about history.
Mhm.
How do you? When I go into a classroom and do my shows and do my programs, I always start with history.
Mhm.
I come in and I sing, "Oh, freedom." Oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. I asked them, what does that sound like? My grandma? My great grandma, and I said, wonderful. So, what else can you identify with the traditional type of living? And they go on and on and on. Sometimes I bring little items in just so they could identify. Well, it's not in my time period, but I saw it on my grandma's shelf. I saw it in my grandma's cabinet. My great granny, she got that. So, it is necessary to bring that back to life and let them understand why those decisions were made for us like that until after the Civil War.
Now let me find out you came up here just to give us them like you. I need to hear y'all sing. Y'all need to hear this.
Appreciate it. Though. We appreciate it. All of it.
Thank you.
That stuff is very not. I don't mean to say stuff,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
know what you're
very
talking about.
important. But like, if you don't keep telling these stories over and over again,
Thank you so
they will
much
be
for saying
forgotten.
that.
There's a. I wish I could remember the verbatim, but it was talking about how if you don't study history, how it can repeat
It will
itself.
repeat itself.
And I think right now,
Some
that
of
where
the
we
things
are right
repeating
now
itself.
going on is like, if we stop letting go of the things that end up empowering us, they're
Thank
going to
you.
enslave us again.
They will enslave us
And then-
again. Just think about the Supreme Court. But when I portray Harriet Scott, I talk about me and my husband Dred. We lived in that old jail cell for over 10 years. You know, so when we talk about living that dream, living that horror for 10 years, that is something to empower someone to say, well, I'm not going to jail. Maybe that'll put it in their heads like, well, if you would jail, but just wanting to be free, then I'm not going to jail. So it's a bunch of stuff that can help us. So much, everything in our daily lives can help us talk about getting away from that old thread thinking, that old thinking. The Supreme Court did an awful, unjust thing to them.
Oh yes.
And they don't know today that they're doing an awful, unjust thing now by giving immunity to that other president. So what we're talking about is history. It is a window to where we came from. We have to keep it going. So that's what I wanted to say today.
Where do you operate out of?
I have my own. Well, I have my own company in our home. But what I do is I go to schools, churches, community centers, and Black organizations and white organizations as well. And I tell them, here is my plan. Here is my program. This is when I can do it in this window, or that window. can do it a week, I can do it a day, or I can do it several months. And that's what they do. They work with me in providing some type of a budget for me, and I work through that process.
Oh, and you've been doing this for how long?
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to do that to you, but I mean, I do
He's
that.
trying to learn my age now. Well, I've been doing it for a long time.
Stay right here.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah,
Okay.
over 20 years.
20 years?
Yes, and I love it.
Well, the community needs you. We want you to stay strapped, not stay strapped, but stay around. Like, and we need that message to keep going for the next generation.
Thank you.
And the generation after that. Sometimes I feel like the spiral went so far down that I kind of, part of me wants to give up on that dream.
Don't do it.
I'm not.
Don't do it.
As long as people like you, Bridge the Gap, and other numerous organizations around, I think the message will be loud and clear.
Yeah, the system is designed to try to make you give up,
Yes.
but we're gonna outdo that system. So, and thank you guys so very much for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Keep doing it.
All right. Thanks so
We
much.
need it.
All right. Awesome.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, man, we just doing a little Bridge the Gap, talking and communicating with the community. Man, I don't know these little guys, man. They ain't part of the Gap. DT finna, was you scared now?
Just to make sure y'all get y'all.
Where you coming from, DT?
Hello, everybody. Hold on for a second.
All right. Who is they? I don't know.
Hello, everybody.
Where you get that from?
What are we about to do, guys?
We're just doing a recap of where we at right now. We want to know why you were late.
That thing called the job, guys.
Okay.
You look awfully nice in burgundy.
I can't wait till I can pay you some more to get away from that place.
Me too. I can't wait for you to pay me some more so I can get away. I can't wait for you to pay me, period.
That list long.
Okay, we're back here.
That list long. Yeah, we down here in downtown, live downtown Pagedale at the Drink House. Nasty Nino is on the Wheels of Steel over there. The Wheels of Steel. I feel old as hell saying that shit.
Wheels and steel.
Right.
That's what your daddy said.
Right. God damn. We're just, it's what we got here? We got Vale's, Dean's Kitchen, Adam's Vegan Cuisine, and also the Drink House. Like you said, it's four black businesses here.
Like a baby Steers
It's
building.
like a foundry type of.
Oh, it is like a foundry. It's like a foundry, right?
Yeah, this motherfucker here
sis-
talking about a
Baby
Sears building.
sister?
You say the Sears building.
Oh, the Sears.
We give it a nice.
You know, but
It's a foundry. We're gonna stay with the
so
foundry.
this is what I need to ask you. Is this
Paysdale
Pagedale
Foundry.
or is this Wellston? Like
Paysdale Foundry.
Pagedale.
This all.
Is there much of a difference?
Shout out to the Dale.
I think it's a big difference
Okay.
between Pagedale and Wellston.
And that is, why are your lips on the mic like that? Pause.
Big pause.
The hell?
We were having a wholesome show.
I'm sorry,
up
y'all.
until
I'm-
10 minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. What is the difference between Pagedale and Wellston?
A light.
He said a light. He said
Kingsman.
a light. L-I. Oh, really? Oh,
Right.
So who has more?
Where the line stop at going that way? Sutter.
Oh, really?
Sutter go north and south though, don't it?
Y'all go east. Yes, Sutter does go north and south. That's Wellston.
That's Wilson.
Oh, really? Wellston has a lot of athletic celebrities for real, like basketball
Low key, they
players.
do.
Like it's
Shout out to Fat
amazing.
Man.
They don't have enough accolades about that. They have a lot of people come. Fat Man, the the dude. My God. So his athletic ability is
He
okay.
used to go hoop.
He do stuff for the community. Y'all just don't see.
I'm sure he do a lot for the community. He
Yeah.
did literally, huh?
Yeah, Fat Man's definitely a. Let's stop talking about Fat Man.
Shout out to Fat Man. Ma'am, you coming in the wrong door.
Come on, Fred.
It's okay. Down there.
Is that Isaiah?
And I was trying to get Chris. He do the t-shirts at He actually has a shop in the Real Series building.
Who is that? The guy with the shades on?
Chris Simpson.
Who is that?
Right. Where he at? Oh, that is Farrakhan. I just noticed that. This will be his third time on the show though. I don't mind getting. I'm gonna tell him
I like
Farrakhan to pull up.
Farrakhan though.
He can sit right here.
Oh, we just moving around. Are we live or we taping it? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Welcome to the live show of the Drink House. Girls.
For what?
What? I want to interview everybody. Y'all had your chance. You should have interviewed who you wanted to when you had the chance. They are part of the community. What you want is part of the community. You don't just want people that's been on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, girls, when I get a chance, come on over here, baby. Come talk to me. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Let's have some people on. These are real people. Real people, bro. Make it snappy. Come on, baby. Come, you do it. Come on, baby. We're about to interview Stacy. Stacy is she actually works, she's in charge of one of the top hair schools in St. Louis. That's Black owned. But why are you here? You should be asking people why are they here to support this. Have a seat, ma'am. Come on. Come on, sit down. Let's enjoy ourselves. I'm interviewing the
so
people.
much about you.
Yes. Tell the people who you are.
Hi, my name is Stacy.
Miss Stacy, why are you here today?
I am here because my good friend invited me out to this event to support Twyla.
Uh-huh.
So this is my first time coming to this event, and this is actually my first time of hearing about the organization.
Oh, really?
I'm very impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited to be here.
What do you think this will do for the community?
I think it's very uplifting because I work with young people as well. And I just think with learning how to write and having the right resources and continuing education for a lot of the young people is going to be really good.
Great.
We
I'm
really
all
need
for it.
that. We really need that because the
We
young
really do
kids,
need that.
they depended on YouTube and social media to
Exactly.
learn.
Yeah, and I work at a cosmetology school.
Well,
So I'm having some issues with some of the students. They don't know how to write a resume. And
Oh, wow.
that should be like in high school, you learn how to write a resume.
middle school going into high school. you should be-
Exactly. So yeah.
So is your as a Black is it a Black owned hair?
Yeah, it's a Black owned school, but I've worked at, several different cosmetology schools, and it's like the same ring, with students not knowing how to set up a resume or for that matter, an essay. They don't know how to correlate the words or what they should do. Simple assignments that you would learn, like you said.
They go to
in
Google.
middle school.
They learn from Google. They think Google's the smartest thing ever.
They really do.
Do you think you're going to have to in the future implement this? Or do you think it's something that is going to be a downfall just in general as we progress into the future?
I think it's something that would really be great to be implemented so that we can save our youth, because our youth is the future.
Right.
And that's what, hey, if they are failing, we're failing as
True.
adults, as uncles, mentors, aunts, moms. So we got to save our future, because if they can't cursive write, formulate words on paper correctly, then that's a fault for us.
Oh, that's a great
Definitely
answer.
a fallback.
Yeah.
Definitely a
Yeah.
fallback.
So I have two more questions
Oh my
and then I'll
God,
let you go.
sister.
I need you to tell me if somebody says you are so St. Louis, tell me what that means to you. And two, what do you know about Pagedale?
About what?
Pagedale.
Pagedale. I relate Pagedale to being like the back of you city. And that
They don't kill you.
I mean, it's the truth.
Okay.
I'm JBL for
Oh,
life.
JBL for life.
JBL.
Shout out to the JBL. Okay. Okay.
And
And
then what was the other question?
if somebody said you're so St. Louis, what does that mean to you? What do you think they mean? Give me
It's my
some.
swag, the way that I carry myself. I went to college in Tennessee.
Okay.
So being from St. Louis, that was like, hey, you are like cool. You could dress.
Okay.
They say the women are so pretty. We just
Oh.
have a natural grace about ourselves, the way we carry ourselves. So to me, to say you're so St. Louis, that's like
Well, that's a
I
whole
love
different level of,
That's a
a
whole level of
definition,
it,
girl.
yeah.
Let me change my bang side.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you give people your social media or what's going on where they can find you or
And
come
the
to your
school, since it's black
school? That's what
owned.
I'm saying.
Okay, so my social media, I love Instagram. I am at One Classy Penny on Instagram, and then I do work at Divas Institute of Cosmetology. So it is an all black cosmetology school, and we appreciate all the business so that the students can continuously learn because we have a diversified student body, and they learn all ethnicities.
Do
So
I know
that'd be great.
anybody at that school?
You don't know anybody right now,
Oh,
but
okay.
You got a lot of
Yeah.
young girls that come in there, don't you?
we do have a lot of young people
Because
that
a lot
come
of
in
seem
there.
like they like doing the lashes, the hair,
Yeah, they like
and
doing all of that.
the
Yeah.
makeup.
Yeah. I like doing all
Right,
that.
right, right.
Unfortunately, I got caught off guard. I ain't busting my blind.
That's
like my
okay. That's
sister.
okay. 'Cause you beautiful still.
Love you.
I love you too, and thank you for joining
Thank you
us.
for coming
And make
by.
sure
Appreciate
you
it.
check it out today. Repost it. Tell everybody you're gonna be on the podcast
Yes,
today.
I will.
What
Thank
up,
you so
dog?
much.
Love
What
you,
up?
sister.
Thank
What
you.
up, y'all? What up? I love you too.
Yo, that was awesome. Are we ready for Muhammad or who's you coming next? Wait, this not her? Is this she's coming or she's not coming? You don't know her? Oh, oh, we got some businesses. Come on, sit down here, girl. You got your what? Come on. We need another chair.
Food. That's our favorite subject.
We love the foods too. Let's do this. Is it a good view? Can you say oh?
Oh, yes, ma'am. And now about
Yo,
50,000.
we are doing some off the fly,
About
off the
50,000
rip.
Yes.
I'm just joking.
We supporting Paige Dale right now. We showing everybody love, no matter what, where, when, how you do it. We love St. Louis. We love everybody in the Lou. We want everybody to understand what we give you is from the heart, all the way down to the original of making their own products. So with that being said, bam, introduce yourself, girl.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tammy Finley Stewart, and I am here with Big Don's Collection. We create seasonings and sauces. Straight from Chicago, and we're now in St. Louis. So Shiloh, you can call us.
Oh,
And
Shiloh.
also, I am an author, children's book author,
What?
and ghostwriter as well. So, hello, and I will let this young lady introduce herself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Regina Ware, and I am a children's author as well. And the name of my book is I Am Not Afraid Anymore. And my book is not only servicing children, but it is also servicing adults who are overcoming some of the fears that they have in their life. And it is
Awesome.
about a young boy that's overcoming his fear of dogs. So social workers and counselors have been using my book as well. So thanks for this opportunity to sit here and tell you about my book.
Awesome.
Can I ask you a question? Just piggybacking up the title of your book. Let's say in today's age, 7 or 8 year old, you have a 7 or 8 year old daughter or boy or son that goes to school. He might get bullied sometimes, but he doesn't or she doesn't want to fight. You know, all right, you better hit him back. You come home, I'm gonna whoop your ass. You know, I'm sorry, but
Whoop your butt. They get
yeah.
it.
Hogwash. Like I was saying, what are some tactics that you have for parents that deal with kids of that nature?
Strategies to put in place for those kids that are being bullied. First, I would talk to them about having some self-esteem, and to talk to their partner. We can be, when you're bullied, just talk it out and don't try to use your hands. Always go to someone and tell them what is going on, because bullying is not acceptable. And so reach out to someone so they can get some support. And then we will have an intervention with those children to make sure that, they can get along. So we put interventions in place as far as we do some reconciliation and just getting them together so they can talk about what is behind this, because we have to peel the onion. There is a reason that children are bullying, maybe it was done to them, or maybe they've seen it on television. So we have to get to the root of the problem.
Why do you think, okay, well, is that going to be something, do you have a book already about bullying, or is that something in the future that's coming?
Well, I'm working on one, not about bullying, but my second book has something to do with reading, because our
awesome.
children are lacking that skill. I do have a reading certification. So I do work with children that are struggling in the area of reading. Just recently, I saw that the Detroit Public Schools has put something in place where they are paying students $2,000 to learn how to read after school.
Mhm.
So we have to find something that would get our students' attention. So, yeah.
That's a wonderful
That's
idea
awesome.
as far as giving incentives, even though it's compromising. Like, you know, growing up, we didn't get asked what did we want for dinner and stuff like that. It was
That's
just
what you ate.
but nowadays, it's technology is anything is so much more information available to make children to be a little bit more defiant than they were, because they have a lot more outlets than we did.
Right.
So I guess you got to kind of meet them halfway. One of my friends suggested like kids that steal cars and like they feel just they have to do it. Like maybe we should have race car drivers come down here and show them how to make money driving cars and things of that nature. Just the way of the world is, you kind of just let go of some. You got to keep your old school values, but kind of
incorporate it with today.
into some of the things that we're going through today. What do we have right here, though?
Well, can I just answer that?
Yeah, sure.
I want to piggyback on what you said about that. We're finding that our students are not playing sports like they used to.
True.
So I am suggesting that why don't we have boxing? Instead of having the kids fight, have some boxing. There are some people that are in St. Louis that have been prominent boxers, so we can invite them in so they can take their anger out on that boxing bag, punching bag, or whatever, so that they won't hurt or harm each other, because we hurt each other in our culture.
And
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea. I'm watching that. I'm a living testimony of that. My son, he's 19 years old. Like he's fundamentally autistic, but he was born with lymphedema, so he has a lymphedemic leg. So he's been, how kids been going on him from, the other day he told me, like, Dad, I've been fighting since I was 5 years old. Like, but he boxes now, and he's not looking for a professional career, but it allows people to see him as a regular person.
Yes.
And they don't look at his leg, or they just like, I can see, like, it's something that allows him to be accepted as, and he doesn't have to be picked on or ridiculed just for being different. So I like the boxing idea.
That's a great
It's
idea.
made him a lot calmer as well.
Yeah.
I want to speak to that. When it comes down to our society, I think that right now society is becoming our major bullies, because they're setting the tone for what everything's supposed to look like. So it starts with us. We have to start changing things and changing the way that society looks for everyone. And so that it can transition down onto the new generation.
Yeah,
So,
very soft voice.
You have a soft voice?
Oh, is our voice too soft? Or are we here? Okay.
He like perfect.
All right, one this.
And he'll let you know, no, it ain't.
See, I'm the balance.
That's
So
how does the books and the barbecue sauce come together?
So they are separate. They are actually separate. However, my husband and I have the barbecue sauce company, and I am the author, and that's totally separate, two separate businesses.
So who's from St. Louis?
So we are from St. Louis.
Oh, you
now.
originally?
Yeah, we're originally from Chicago.
Oh.
So we are from St. Louis now. We've been here for about 12 years now.
Okay.
We came from Chicago. So we brought Mao sauce.
Okay.
And that version of Mao sauce, and it married with Kansas City form things. And so now we have different seasons. This is just our spicy. We have an original version as well. So we have the spicy feisty, and then we also have the flake and smoke. And then it's not just for barbecue. A lot of people think it's just for barbecue. It's not for barbecue. You can put it on anything.
Okay.
And so definitely try us out, www.bigdonscollection.com.
Big Don, shout out to Big Don.
Big Don. Why don't you ladies both give your information so they can know how to reach you both, or find the books?
Absolutely.
Okay, I am on Amazon. You can go to Amazon Children's Book, and it's under I am not afraid anymore. And you have to have the word separately. It cannot be I'm, it must be I am not afraid anymore. And you can find the book on there. You can also reach me at where-to-learn@yahoo.com. So I would appreciate your support.
Are you from St. Louis?
Yes, I am.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Mercy High School.
I think I'm.
Yes,
So,
Mercy and University.
My brother was a
yeah.
nurse. Earl
Okay, that's what we do in St. Louis.
Awesome.
Every time when I got
Hazel Woody's. You worked at Hazel Woody's? Really? When?
I was there from 2019 until I don't remember, but Coach 10 is there.
Oh, awesome. How ironic. Something about you seems familiar. It don't matter. It's black and it's beautiful. That's all. Well, we want to thank you, ladies, for coming on the show today. We are What Up Though Radio. So please find us on social media. Come see yourselves, pass the word, repost, recap, do whatever it needs so for us to make sure that you guys get out there.
absolutely, absolutely, and happy 10 years to bridge the gap.
Oh, yes. Happy 10 years, Twyla. We have
live on the low. It's been a Saturday show. I haven't done a Saturday show since 2018. Matter of fact, I had on this shirt last
I was gonna say.
night.
You want to sit down, sir?
Oh, most
No, of course so. Come on.
Are y'all ready? I gotta pull up a
What
chair.
kind of group is this?
So we're emerging business leaders. We're a group of young entrepreneurs throughout the city of St. Louis.
definitely.
We have about, oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Hello. My name is Trey L. Scott. Happy to be on. The rest of my group's going to pull up a chair and join us as well. I'm the co-founder of Emerging Business Leaders. We're founded out of the city of St. Louis. We're partnered with about 50 other business owners and entrepreneurs throughout the city of St. Louis. And our main focus to help grow, prosper, and look to get other entrepreneurs throughout the city of St. Louis to network and grow together. Our philosophy is that we believe everybody can win and that everybody has a seat at the table and that everybody can eat. Ain't that right?
Yes, it's right. I'm gonna answer. You ain't got to. I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I want to be in your group.
My people know what it is. And so we got my peoples with me. They sitting in the background. I got my core group. There's about 50 to 25 of our members are here tonight helping Twyla Lee celebrating this 10-year anniversary. We met her for the first time ever just at Juneteenth. We attended Juneteenth, and man, she showed nothing but love and hospitality. And I love that about her. She has such a sweet spirit on her. And I tell you, this is what it's all about, man. Giving back and helping each other and watching each other grow and climbing up the ladder together. So I'm going to pass the mic over to a couple of my members. They're going to introduce themselves and tell them what they do.
So I am John L. Brown. I am the president of Emerging Business Leaders. I myself own a few businesses, as well as I also have another group called Roses with Wings. It is a society of women that we do nothing but support, educate, and just be there for one another, for young women and older women.
I'm Dominic. I'm the other co-founder of Emerging Business Leaders. I also own a couple businesses. I had a trucking company and an insurance business.
And we got one more in the back behind me, but I didn't give my name my companies. So my name is Trey L. Scott. Like I said again, I'm the co-founder of Emerging Business Leaders. I am also the co-owner of A&O Movers, B&K Cleaners. We just founded our own photography company and videography company as well. I'm a content creator. You can find me on all social platforms at Trey L. Scott. They call me the TikTok preacher. I am also a licensed minister as well. And I'm going to pass it over to Sean Kimbrough, man, the man with the plan, the businessman, man. He's all right behind me.
Awesome. So Sean Kimbrough, actually, I'm one of the board members of Emerging Business Leaders, own a couple different businesses, do real estate investing, also have a consultant company in the medical space, and I really help to oversee the legal department when it comes to helping a lot of small business entrepreneurs have access to expertise when it comes to a legal standpoint.
Okay, now everybody hold on, because I got 10 questions. All these businesses and all these, like everybody.
On the cake.
Look,
Look,
icing
what we
on
do.
the cake.
it's not.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Who was sitting at home in their kitchen and they said, I want to do this?
Was that in the kitchen with me?
It always
That's
started in the
crazy.
kitchen. Who was
That is crazy.
Great question.
So it started about well over a year ago. We started with the idea. Dominic was sitting in his truck. He was making 6 figures on the road as an over-road truck driver. I was working as a manager for U-Haul out of Columbia, Missouri, and just initially said, man, I got tired of making money for the other man and, making this rich white man all this money and that revenue and learning all these skills. And I had the skill set and I was like, man, I should do this for myself. So I told my girlfriend, Dirk, at the time, I mean, hey, let's go into business for ourselves. Let's do this. I got 12 years experience in the industry. Why not do it? Right.
Okay.
And so I said it Christmas Day, December 25, 2023, I was sitting on the floor in our living room.
Not even
and I
a
was
year.
not even a year.
Not even
and I was writing
a year.
out a plan. And I wrote out our business plan. I wrote out our budget for the year. I wrote out how we was going to get leads and how we want to do this and that. And I told Dominic, I called him and said, hey, man, I started my own business, but I'm having so many people gatekeep and keep and withhold information from me about how to do this, how to license for this, how to get insurance for this. And I was asking people. And I seem to go on Facebook and all these other social platforms, and I was asking people, how do you do this? Well, man, I can pay you for a fee, or I can tell you for this cost. And I'm like, what in the world? So you're going to charge me for what something
as if
that's
it's
free?
only a limited. Let me tell you what we have a habit of doing. We have a habit of thinking that if we give you this information, you're going to take all the entire money in the entire world. But that's a thought process of someone who's never had, who never even understands the ability that you can go
Come on.
with giving.
Come on. Come on.
When you give, it spreads so many things, opens so many doors.
Come on.
It's supposed to work
Don't
like
be out here
that.
preaching now.
Okay,
Don't be out here
Nah,
preaching
she
now.
preaching.
TikTok,
See,
little
come on.
sister,
Don't be out
little
here.
sister preacher right here.
So
The preacher
I
right
came
here.
from this philosophy, man, with my grandmother and Big Mama, and they told me, man, if one can't eat, no one can eat. So
Right.
everybody's got to eat. And so I called my boy Dominic and I got Chris on the phone. I was like, man, I want to do this business expo. We used to do a business expo in the city of St. Louis all the time. We were part of this organization called Man on Business. Now they're featured over into GOV, Gentlemen of Vision. And they used to do a step routine out there for the drum line and the drum competition. And they stopped doing the business expos and the Black Expo in St. Louis. So I'm like, man, you know what? We came back home from college and school. Let's do it ourselves. So we said we're from North County. Let's put it in North County.
No codes.
Come on.
No code. I'm a no code girl.
Come on.
I'm a no code girl. What are you talking
What
about?
school though?
Hazelwood East.
Oh Lord.
Hazelwood. Y'all must be Central Hawks or River.
No, River. Ooh. You know it already. RG.
Sorry. First off, I'm sorry to hear that.
What?
Oh, whoa, thank you. Can't argue with her.
So we hosted our first event. We pulled other people in. So Jonelle was one of the first people we pulled in. We pulled in 3 other members that we knew that were like just starting out their own businesses. And we started out with 5 just last year in November, just under a year. And we started out with a business expo in North County out in the Bridgeton Event Center right before they closed. And we blew that thing out.
That's awesome.
When I tell you we had 60 vendors for our first event.
That is why
and
we
these were
weren't
Black
there?
entrepreneurs. We wasn't well known then. We just started. Look, y'all didn't know about us. Look.
Just getting started.
So we had 60 entrepreneurs. And from that, man, we just started building content. We just started going out and supporting the community. We started doing events where we were doing like in the gun violence rally. I lost my brother to gun violence. I lost his mother, his child to gun violence. And so we did things that was close to the heart and close to the chest for us because we wanted to see our people win, but not only win, but thrive.
Right.
And understand that, no matter what your background is, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're coming from, that you too can win and have that mindset. And that's what our philosophy is. And that's what EBL is about. And I'm going to turn it over because they know I do too much talking.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The legal part.
Okay.
How important is it to this organization to get that information out?
It's very pivotal and critical, both at the same time. And the reason why I say that, because let's just really paint a picture. Let's look at everyone from an entrepreneurial standpoint.
Okay.
Let's say that I have SOS LLC, right? And when you look at every entrepreneur, everyone has some type of expenses, whether it's when it comes to cell phone, when it comes to utilities, when it comes to all those different type of expenditures.
Right.
And when you look at all those different expenditures that you invest in, one thing that all those companies do that's very significant is they take a small portion of the income that you pay them, and guess what department they have?
What?
A legal department.
Legal department.
They have that legal department. But here's the crazy part. With them having that legal department, if they ever need to use it or utilize it, who are they utilizing against?
Oh.
You. So what we do is we educate people whether it's ordinary Jane and Joes, especially business owners. Because think about this, when it comes to entrepreneurs, most business owners are one audit, one lawsuit away from losing everything.
Yeah.
So what we do, and one question I ask people, look, if you had the ability to be able to pick up the phone, talk to an attorney, and let's just say when life tend to throw you those curveballs,
Right.
and for a majority of things, not have to pay a fee when you need assistance, would you do
Go
it?
ahead.
And what's ironic, 90% of the times I ask people that question, they usually say the same thing. Absolutely, but that same 90% has no clue that what we do exists.
Oh, wow.
So, with partnering with, emerging business leaders, especially seeing how significant they are when it comes to helping entrepreneurs to expand their brand.
Right.
Well, why not have it where you can have access to these resources with expanding your brand, creating more cash flow, but also make sure you have an infrastructure set in place where legally you're back to, God forbid, the worst happens. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Let me ask you this. Trying to be sneaky. Tell me, how can we find you? And why should we find you?
So I'm gonna start with why. Like Trey said, him and Dominic started this, but one thing is, you would never know. You would think that all of us were sitting in that same kitchen with Trey, sitting there having that same conversation, but we are literally a family.
We are.
When I say what 2 months?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
He's been with us.
Oh yeah.
And I could call him drop of a dime, and he gonna come help me. So that's the key point about emerging business leaders. We don't care where you came from. We don't care what you do.
Come on.
You gonna come into this and you gonna instantly feel like family. Cause hey, cousin, real quick.
Yeah,
real quick.
Guess what I feel? I feel the win. And that's what is important and imperative to anything that you do with helping someone.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming to you for a reason.
Yeah.
And when you can help me with my reason, I got goosebumps. Hold
Come on.
I feel like
Come on.
Wait a minute.
When you have a village that's behind you,
Man.
we deal with 50 business owners. They're members, right? We not only do legal services, but we do content creation. We'll help you build your content. That's what I did tonight for Twyla. We ain't charging. We out here, all the kindness our heart was we believe in what she does.
Yeah.
Come on now. We believe photography. We have a team of photographers. We just plan a content day. Let me tell you our biggest thing. We go and we do something. They did it on a content just a month ago where like 50 people out of New York went to this one lady's business where they was about to close it down.
We talked about
We do that here in St. Louis. We do that here in St. Louis. So we do what's called not a flash mob, but we call it a cash mob. And we go to several different business owners throughout the city of St. Louis, and we go and we promote your business. We buy product. We go and we drink from your establishment. Whatever you serve, whatever you promote, whatever you selling, we'll bring 50 business owners right there mobbing out to you. We call it the cash mob.
Well,
and we'll go.
I'm sorry to
No,
cut
go
you.
ahead.
How do we find you? Just get to
You can find us on
Just get to
Facebook,
the point.
Instagram,
Just
TikTok.
tell me.
Hey, we're all over the place. You can call us Emerging Biz STL, or you can find us on St. Louis or on Facebook at Emerging Business Leaders. We have a group. You can join our group. If you're looking for us on our personal platforms, Trey L. Scott, you can find Sean Kimbrough. You can find Nell at Queen Nell, or you can find Dominic at D Tice. You can find us all over on all social platforms if you're looking for us. We're partnered with Bridge the Gap. We're partnered with Juneteenth. So if you're looking for us, we're all over her social media. Believe me, after tonight, we're gonna have a couple content to post tonight. We're gonna be flooding it, man. We're here to celebrate what she's doing and what we can do to help her, man. And that's what it's all about.
Take us out. This is our last little segment for the
Oh, this is the
evening.
last little segment
So
for the
we gonna
evening.
we're gonna let you take us out of here.
Special.
I feel so special,
So
man.
this is What Up Though Radio. We're a podcast.
Oh wow,
Yes, and we are so just love the people.
I love it, man.
We just love the
I
people.
love it, man.
That's why we like you sitting here. So just take us out. Tell
So
us.
hey, if you haven't already, I love it, man. For the person that's on the other side of that screen, be sure that you hit that like and subscribe button that's underneath this video here, and be sure to subscribe to this video for more content like this. If you love it, I like it, man. But be sure that you tap in with this podcast and what they're doing and what they're giving back to this community in the city of St. Louis. And be sure that you tap in with any of these organizations that were presented tonight. Till the next time, peace.
Awesome. Awesome.